Hey, and welcome to a Chicago Beer Pass beer review. And we got one from Vermont here.
Man,
Out of state action.
one of the most revered IPAs in recent memory. Shit, the Alchemist, man. Is this Heady Topper?
No,
It's not
this
Heady
is called
Topper.
Focal Banger. It kind of looks like Heady Topper
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Man, this beer we're drinking from Buckle Down, it leaves some like little sediment behind.
Well, that makes sense. You know, what's funny. He's got the same Heady Topper ish kind
Look,
of
yeah.
look. Yeah,
But yeah, Focal Bang, I feel like it's going to give you everything that Heady Topper wants to give you.
yeah. Citrus. Oh, sorry, Citra, Mosaic, and their favorite British malts.
Okay.
Yeah.
My uncle left this beer. I don't know if he left it on purpose or on accident, but either way, it has to get drank.
Yeah, that's a fact. So,
He went out there on a road trip and he picked up a few things, and yeah, a few things made it back.
Vermont is out there, man.
Yeah.
That's the edge. That's the edge right there, man.
And Heady Topper said, oh, yeah, this one says drink from the can. Um, they basically kind of like hazy beers are ugly and there's no reason
If
to
you
pour them
must
out.
pour it into a glass, you may find that some of the hop resins have settled to the bottom. Leave them in the can when pouring. This beer is perishable and best when young. Keep cold, but not ice cold. Drink this beer today.
Okay, so it's been sitting for a little bit. Does that have a date on the bottom? I don't think it does.
Let's check it out. There's something going on down there, Brett. Oh, man. My eyes are playing tricks on me. I'll let you take a look. But then it's also kind of smeared, too.
Oh, okay. So 7%. Oh yeah, that's all smudged up. So
Um,
we will never know. Uh, Pours like a, I don't know, a light hazy, like a little lemon color.
right? It's got a nice some
Fluffy head.
some good fluffy head, some nice head retention, which is kind of nice, right? It's kind of got that classic kind of egg eggshell white kind of head. You know, like if you get like a whiskey sour, and how it tops off, it's like almost that color.
Oh shit. I think it's been a while since I've had IPAs or like good IPAs, and like I've almost forgotten how good they can be.
Yeah, when you look at this beer, like I'm expecting it to be kind of, you know, a little on the overly malty sweet side or a little on the kind of aggressively hop side. But this has a surprising amount of balance in it for it to look the way it does.
It does leave your mouth pretty dry and a little chalky, but that just kind of makes you want to go back and get another drink. Be
Yeah,
like, oh, I gotta clean that up here.
yeah. Almost kind of a white pepper kind of note on
Yeah,
it when you finish it. Yeah,
it's good. I've only had Heidi Topper a couple times, and I don't think it's as good, but that could be my me thinking like, oh, this beer's supposed to be good, so
first
it
time
tricks you like into being like, this is so good.
it's true. Remember, we went through that with Daisy Cutter when it went from Balmoral. It was the
Oh yeah.
original location to Balmoral. First time we had it on the show, we kind of boo-hooed it, but we were kind of comparing it to probably our very first Daisy Cutter experience, whenever that
Right.
was. When that's kind of hard to top, you know. So I think, yeah, like with the Alchemist, probably the same thing. It's like, all right, well, I remember this Heady Topper, and I just remember being like, why does this smell so good?
Right.
You know?
But this one, Focal Banger, right? Focal Banger. It's great. You're going to have to go to Vermont to get this beer or really anything from Alchemist. And I believe it's even hard to get even
Is
in
that
Vermont.
is that how it goes? Because I know there are some services, right, that like offer like beers from around the country, but even within that space, it's still kind of like you can't really just get it like you want.
Yeah, it's hard to get. But he was up that way. And I think, along with a lot of people there, he said Treehouse blew him away. The Alchemist stuff was good, but Treehouse was, just as much of the hype it
It's
deserves.
like it's like lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
Um, Not quite Treehouse, but Trillium. Have you heard
Yeah.
of them? Did you see they have like a local? They made a local drop, so they're out in
Oh, they did.
yeah, the empty bottle or the open bottle out in not the original in Tinley, but out in Lockport, which
Oh.
is basically like Joliet, but there's some Trillium out there.
Oh, you going?
Ah,
You got to go to the Red Lobster to see them, don't
shit, yeah, that's in Christmas, you know.
you? Get over
The only,
there.
the only Red Lobster open on holidays apparently is in fucking Joliet. Yeah, so I mean, who knows? You know.
All right. Yeah, I've only had Trillium a couple times. I believe it's people who share them, or maybe when I was out in Boston.
Yeah,
Last
but
time.
they're special for a reason. I think they never whether it's Trillium or Heady Topper or the one you just named,
Treehouse.
Treehouse. They never ship their beers to like the big competitions.
Right.
So, because they're like, yeah, we're too busy selling all this fucking beer for someone to tell us what they think it tastes like. We're too busy making, the original New England IPA.
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting, and it's always fun to try them because in a lot of ways that's still the nature of beer. It's both seasonal and regional. So to get to try something like this out of the region, you know, it still feels special in the sense that it reminds you of the original days of craft beer. That
And something for us, like I've had people ask me, like, "Oh, what were your favorite breweries?" I'm like, I only drink Chicago and Illinois breweries, like, because of the show, but also I don't really have a lot of reason to like drink anything else. Maybe Floyd's or New Glarus, but I don't need to be trying something else from Indianapolis. Like, there's just no reason to.
It's true. The and then this is the style that most brewers I think can all kind of will admit like, hey, it's probably best as a it's the style that is like it says it right on the
The
can.
IPA.
You need a small footprint for this because it's best young.
Right.
It's at best when it's young.
Yeah.
So like we were talking about Belgian beers in the show and how I think it was Orval. Orval probably doesn't taste the same by the time it gets over here, just like a lot of that stuff doesn't. This is a lot of the same way, IPA. I remember Clint from Lake Effect. He was saying, "I'd rather just have all my IPAs on, just make them keg only,
Okay.
and just have them on draft." So like, younger the better.
That would have backfired during the pandemic.
I set Brad up for that one, and he took it. He took it right down the right field line for a triple there.
Well, I understand the point, but yeah. Yeah. So I'm glad we got to try this. Glad you got the experience here. It's nice, yeah.
Yeah, and they deserve a lot of credit because they kind of set the tone for the whole country. Basically, the whole country makes these types of beers now, and it kind of started in the Northeast. So
Right. And the Heady Topper is almost not the grandfather.
kind of like maybe the mascot, if you will, right? Like
Yeah.
somewhere between grandfather and mascot is this Alchemist Heady Topper beer. Small releases, a cult following, notorious. It's one of the ones you think of when you think of like those kind of capstone kind of moments, right? Those kind
Right.
of milestone moments.
Not to get, I know this is just about this beer, but does a Chicago brewery have a similar cult following as like Alchemist or Hills Farmstead have
Oh, like just for anything?
for the actual brewery? Like if Hills Farmstead releases something, there are people lined up around the block.
Yeah.
Is it a P3? Like, has this like cult like group of people that are going to drink it, and they're gonna say it's the best thing ever, no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah.
It's probably P3, right?
The closest to that is probably Phase 3. Yeah. Because, like, I mean, I'd have no problem. And it is not easy to get to it. I have no problem going to Phase 3. Like,
Okay. That's
for,
probably our closest cult brewery we currently have.
yeah, the hype is real. Yeah. The hype is real at Phase 3. So, yeah, I think that's an apt comparison. Yeah. Because, some crews, like, Hot Butcher or a Microphone, they have hype releases. But, like, if we're talking just almost everything they release is kind of hyped and you almost consider going. Well, Floyd's was like that for the longest time, for like
But
longer
even
than everyone.
P3, like we did that beer pass after dark. You know, some of them weren't that good, but do not tell that to a P3 fan because they get mad. But you could tell it to a Hop Butcher fan and be like, yeah, I didn't think that was like, yeah, I understand, but you should try this one.
Yeah.
Those Phase 3 people, they're gonna cut you. Do not say anything bad about my milkshakes.
The fuck did you just say? They just shatter a glass right on the spot and leave a shard in their hand, and they're just ready. They're just looking for blood. Oh man.
So yeah, I feel like Alchemist Crew, they got that going on. And although I think this is a great beer, it's a little better because I can't ever get it again. Like sometimes I may like poo-poo some of the Phase 3 stuff, but it's like, that's here. I can probably get to try it, but this is like notches up a little bit because I can't get it. I'll never drink this again.
You could taste the rarity in it.
Right.
It's kind of like New Glarus. Talk about New Glarus. I like Moon Man and I like Spotted Cow just like the next guy. But if I could leave here and go to Tony's Finer Foods and grab them both, I wouldn't.
Right. Well, definitely not Spotted Cow.
So, the fact that it's a small run and from another region affects the experience.
Right. I think that's what Gumball Head and Zombie Dust was. As soon as it was like, you could walk into Whole Foods or something.
And let's be honest, that's the true comparison. Like Phase 3 is more of a modern comparison. The true comparison is what you said, Gumball Head and Zombie Dust.
But as soon as I could walk into 3 Whole Foods and see Zombie Dust, I was like, I don't want that.
Yeah, I only drink it at Sox games.
But it's good.
One year for my birthday, all I wanted was 2 cases of Zombie Dust. Maybe like 10 years ago. But now, since they make so much of it, I only drink it at Sox games.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All right. If you're ever out in Vermont area, pick up some Alchemist, as you probably would.
Hey, and send us some too, man.
Oh yeah, and send us some. Share it with us.
2-day, overnight, if you're feeling frisky.
Right.
Nick's
giving out his address. That'll do it. Take care.
Cheers.